Hello, and welcome back to another episode. This is episode 3 of Bending It with Beckham. We are manager of Inter Miami, and we're still in our long pre-season, our 1 year wait to get started with Inter Miami. But something interesting has happened, which I think I'm going to kind of take advantage of. We're about to get into the start of MLS's post-season, which for those of you who don't know, the Eastern and the Western play a regular season, and then they go into the playoff formation, which is the same as like they do with baseball and American football, which is like a knockout tournament. And the winner of that is the actual champion. So the winner of the actual tournament, you can see here, wins what is known as the Supporters' Shield, so our version of the league winners, I guess. So they're kind of nearing an end. I think they come to an end in about a month or so. But we just had an offer of a trade from Orlando City. So I'm kind of interested to see what happens if we accept it. Because this guy is not great. He's a 26-year-old winger. We're probably not going to play with wingers anyway, based on the formation I have in mind. So I'm just going to go ahead and accept this, which means that we get their first round pick in 2022 Super Draft. So we get their first round pick in 2 years' time, which I think works out quite nicely, because by that time we'll have a decent idea of where the team's at, and we'll be able to kind of build a little bit better. So we're going to accept this, and we'll see what happens. So LAFC have given Orlando City their first round pick, and now we get it from LAFC. Okay. So I think that should mean we get 2 first round picks in 2022. It's all a little bit confusing, isn't it? Does anyone not really understand what's going on? The trade with Orlando City will see them receive Jerome Kieswetter. They have parted with LAFC's first round pick and 1 international player slot. So I've just gone into my club vision, and they're already disappointed that we haven't signed any high reputation players, even though we're not even competitive. We're not a competitive team yet, which is very bizarre. But we have asked them for some more training facilities. We have improved junior coaching, youth recruitment, and I've done a coaching course, so I am now studying for a Continental Pro license, which is the highest available, I believe. So we are going to move on and kind of crack on into the playoff stages and see what happens, just to kind of give you an idea of what's happening in the league. And we're back because MLS has finished. As you can see, this is the view of the final league table, the Supporters' Shield league table, which sees LAFC. Atlanta United won it the year before. This year LAFC have won it. It's the past winners of MLS Cup, and so they have 4 different things that you can win. This year LAFC have won it for the first time, with Cincinnati coming runners up, and Orlando actually came 3rd, which I didn't realise they were good. Past winners are Red Bulls, Toronto, Dallas, Red Bulls again. And that obviously then sets up the MLS Cup, of which Atlanta are the reigning champions. So from the league table, you can see the order of people here. So LAFC, Cincinnati, Orlando, Atlanta, Minnesota, SKC, Salt Lake, Toronto, San Jose, Montreal, Seattle, Portland. Propping up the table was New England, DC United, without Wayne Rooney, of course, Colorado Rapids, Houston Dynamo, Philadelphia Union. And there you can see the Eastern Conference. I suspect we will go into that, because we're on the East Coast, right? Cincinnati, all of these guys go into the playoffs. And there you can see the 2 different leagues, how they finished up. The 2 conferences split. So Eastern Conference first round sees Toronto take on Montreal, Atlanta take on Columbus, and Orlando take on Red Bulls. And on the Western side, Real Salt Lake face San Jose Earthquakes, SKC face Seattle, and Minnesota will play against Portland. And these are all one-off games by the look of it. There's no legs or anything. And then they'll go into the semi-final, which looks like this. LAFC will face one of these guys, and then SKC or Seattle will play them. In the Eastern semi, Cincinnati get a bye, and they'll play Toronto or Montreal. Atlanta or Columbus will play against Orlando or New York Red Bulls. So this is really interesting. This is the season preview. And LAFC were 5th favourites, which doesn't create that much of a surprise. The big surprise was Cincinnati, who came 2nd in the entire league and were 1,000 to 1. So basically picked as the worst team in the league, and they came 2nd. That is impressive. But they've loaned Jurgen Locadia from Brighton, who's probably pretty good for this standard. He scored 18 and 31. So just looking at stats for players in the league, so the top scorer and the top rated player in the league is the other Martinez at Atlanta United. So I was expecting it to be Joseph Martinez, who is still there, but only scored 14. So he did okay. 14 and 32. So Gonzalo Martinez has had a really good year. Most clean sheets, Brad Guzan, also of Atlanta, who's now 35. Most assists went to Joe Corona. It's topical, Corona. He doesn't look great. Raul Rui Diaz did well. He's a good player at this level. And Locadia came in on loan from Brighton and played really well. And then other top scorer was Andy Rios, who I can't say I've heard of, but an Argentinian who came in this year as well. So we're on the 19th at the moment, and the first round of games kicks off today. So we'll keep an eye on those. So we're not actually in the league at the moment, which means I keep having to check what's happened by searching for it manually. But the first round of the knockout stages have kicked off. Red Bulls beat Orlando, which is a little bit of an upset based on their finishing position. Toronto have knocked out Montreal. Minnesota went out to Portland, and San Jose have defeated Real Salt Lake. And then there's a big surprise in the second round of games because Columbus Crew knocked out Atlanta United, who are one of the favourites. And Seattle, who always seems to do well in this kind of stage, they knocked out Sporting Kansas City. Which means the second round of games are all on the same day by the look of it. So Columbus go up against New York Red Bulls, Cincinnati will face Toronto, Seattle will face Portland Timbers, so that's a local affair, and LAFC will go off against San Jose Earthquakes. And the results are in, so those were effectively quarterfinals, and then the teams go into the semi-finals of their respective conferences. So New York have knocked out Columbus Crew with a 1-0 win. Toronto have knocked out Cincinnati, who finished second in the league, with Altidore scoring twice and Michael Bradley scoring the other. Rui Diaz scored twice as Seattle defeated Portland, and LAFC, the league champions, are through with a 3-1 win over San Jose. That's Stephen Caldwell. No. So our squad have gone on holiday until pre-season, which will begin on the 20th of January, so still 3 more months to wait. And the board are going to do some work on the training ground, which is going to cost $3.5 million. And the final has been decided, so Toronto FC will play LAFC. Toronto beat New York Red Bulls with another brace from Josie Altidore, and LAFC will face them because they beat Seattle Sounders on penalties. And we're back because we've decided to come along to the MLS Cup Final. It's LAFC against Toronto FC. Obviously we're not playing, but we're just coming to scout the teams, the best 2 teams in the league. So in terms of players I recognise, obviously Vela on the right wing for LAFC today. Diego Rossi, who's been recommended to me in my scout results, not scored many this year. Altidore obviously up front for Toronto, but other than that, I've heard of this guy, Chi-Man, before. Michael Bradley in midfield. Suspect LAFC might win this, but Altidore's been in really good scoring form, so we'll wait and see. And it's not been a very busy start, and absolutely nothing has happened in the first half, so I don't know if it's a good sign or not. But you'd expect Vela to create something from this, but and there's a highlight right at the start to Toronto on the attack. Oof, Rossi's nicked it. So he's only scored 6 goals all year up front for the team who are the best team in the league, which probably isn't ideal. And Toronto have another attack now. Nope. LAFC have nicked it again, and it's another save by Bono in goal. Now it looks like it's going to finish 0-0. Oh, and now there's a chance. Vela. Oh, Bono's made another save. The best players on the pitch have been LAFC's left back and Toronto's 2 centre backs. Oh, could have scored there, Dio, and still no goals. And no, how's he missed from there? That looked like an open goal. Toronto are coming into it now. And Endo this time has scored. Tsubasa Endo. And Toronto, with less than 10 minutes remaining, have to lead. And they probably deserve it. 18 shots, 65% possession. And LAFC so far, I think he's given a penalty. Surely it's going to be Vela. Step up. He's missed. Wow. If there's one guy who'd want to step up, it would be Vela, and he's bottled it. He's had a really poor game as well on top. And there it is. Toronto FC are MLS champions. So they only came 8th as well. And it's their second in 3 years. So there we go. So there's the end of the MLS season. We are going to shoot ahead to January when our pre-season begins. We're still on holiday until then. So come back in the next episode where we will finally get started as the actual Inter Miami manager. We're looking forward to that. Hit a like and subscribe to the channel. For now, goodbye for now. Speak to you later. Bye bye.